Hello again. Feels like a long time because I actually never see any of you guys, but you might see a little bit too much of my stuff. So it's another Saturday, and which means on Saturdays I sometimes help myself to say something and upload it on air. This last week I started doing this blue collar as fuck thing, right? So I wanted to kind of make clothes, but I also think more important than clothes is the actual movement. If guys were proud of their work and they realized that building skills and building things and building people around you instead of deconstructing things and destroying things in order to make ourselves feel better or bigger, it quite a different life, right? So I know a lot of us might want to be millionaires or be really rich or do six figures type of things, right? And the thing is, in the blue collar world, quite a few people are that successful. There are some millionaires who have built businesses and models and systems that enrich our society, and we don't even notice them, right? They don't even take the credit for it. Every bridge that we drive across was built by an architect and a crew of highly skilled individuals who better fucking know what they're doing, right? These buildings with tons of concrete above our head, these apartment complexes, these warehouses, just anything could hypothetically crash down if the guys that were working on it were not very good. But also if they didn't take pride in their work, if they did too many shortcuts, and let's say 80% of the crew just didn't want to be there, and it just felt like Friday and everybody wanted to get off as soon as possible. So if we consider that perspective as the norm, right, to where most people that kind of go to social media, and well, nowadays everybody goes to social media for entertainment, information, buying stuff, whatever, connections, right? But the people that are vocal are usually younger, and the younger ones aren't as skilled or as aware of life itself, right? So this 20-year-old comes in saying he wants to drive a Bugatti and he got to do whatever it takes, but fucking lifting a hammer or helping his aunt change a tire is just too much work. Well, there's an incongruence in what a man should produce versus what he expects to receive in return. So when we're chasing wealth, for example, I don't know why it's crooked. My steering wheel is crooked, so the thing is kind of sitting on a steering wheel. Let me back up a little bit. Go. That way I'm not all up in your grill. Let me be all up in your grill real quick. So, work. Hard work. Sorry, I'm weird. I'm actually weird sometimes. So anyways, so the loud ones are usually the younger ones, right? The more opinionated you are, the more likely you aren't really aware of other people's opinions, because there are people who are smarter than us who just tolerate our little high school behavior so that, well, for one, they have class, right? It would be foolish for Donald Trump, for example, the most powerful man in the world, the United States, to go around and criticize 19-year-olds for, I don't know, for riding their bike to work, right? For taking the metro bus instead of having a fucking Porsche. The same thing with, I guess I don't know how that's irrelevant. So successful people don't usually talk down, right? It's the people who aim to be successful and they're like shooting an arrow so that they hope that whoever's a little bit higher than them gets stabbed and falls down to their level, so that they could at least crawl on top of their body and be a little bit higher up in the food chain, right? However, the food chain does not work like that. um as a little guy too, actually, as a little guy in the blue collar world, like, I see that big guys, there's big guys, and women like big guys, um but little guys are also capable, right? So a man is a man is a man. I know females have preferences, and guys kind of size each other up to see if we can fight each other. However, for the most part, everybody works for whoever got the brain, right? Whoever, the man with a plan and a system, usually leads the pack. So the goal is to actually be skilled in what you do. One of the things, and knowledgeable, right? So one of the things that I encourage is enjoy your work. Um, I know, going through our 20s, for example, right? We don't have any skills. We aren't really aware of what we want in life, so we don't know. So this indecision, this lack of experience, keeps us stuck in some shitty jobs, low paying jobs. The management kind of sucks because, well, a douche with a little bit of power, like, obviously he feels some type of way. Or an ugly woman who got a little bit of power, yeah, obviously she's gonna feel some type of way. And so ugly people do exist, and sometimes there are supervisors. However, the dangerous part is having, I guess, a side detour. The dangerous part is having an office chick who makes 50,000 a year write checks for technicians who make $120,000 a year, and thinking that this girl is like, oh, because I give them their money, that I'm their boss. Well, lady, the skill level is quite different, so if all the technicians left and nobody produced the money for the company, then would you have an office job? Would you have anything to organize if no customers came and you don't have any talent, right? So it's in our best effort to play nice with the people who actually work for us. So especially, I don't know, part of it is it's kind of female driven too, right? Females are very vocal, very opinionated, and it's like, I hate this, I don't like this, this is creepy, this is weird, this is too much, I don't want this. And it's always just this quick judgmental shoot down, and other girls hear that shit. And so we now have had a culture where not only blue collar work is a shameful thing, but being short, being white, being Christian, being straight, being a good dad, being a fucking college educated, just being anything worthwhile, people are gonna take stabs at you. And that's because they're down here, pew pew pew, right? So I don't know. So back to this blue collar thing. Instagram only allows me to upload 12-minute videos, so I guess if the rant goes on that long, I'll cut it off too. I'm actually at work and I'm over here in the car. Blue collar stuff. So yeah, so I'm trying to not only maybe think about starting a clothing thing, but the goal is to encourage a good message, to encourage younger guys and old guys to not be burnt out by this physical labor that this world demands, right? So when Adam and Eve, a little bit of Christianese for you, when Adam and Eve sinned and Eve picked, I guess, a forbidden fruit, blamed it on the snake, was like, he made me do it, and Adam was like, gosh, she made me do it. And so anyway, so the pace was set, right? I like girls, but I think because they've been aggressively running the world or shooting for leadership roles, you can't have a female, for the most part, right? Some of them are exceptional, but I don't think a female typically can be in a leadership role, because she's not capable to, when things get nice and foggy, when pressure's on and the day is hot and the water's short and I haven't had my snack, and I'm on my period, and my ex-husband is pissing me off. Like, it's easy to make some different decisions, right? So whereas a guy, I'm shit, we could be crying our eyes out, we could be heartbroken because my baby mama went and fucked 2 black guys while I'm over here fighting at war, and I'm still gonna be here at war, just fucking do my job, right? Because I have orders and that is my role. Whereas a girl's like, I'm not feeling good right now, let me sit this war out, can somebody else please, you know? Where's this equality? Where's all these gentlemen? Anyways, this opinionated things, right? And we watch hot models, and obviously they want a 6-foot guy, rich as fuck, somebody who, you know. But this is for us blue collar people who are actually, we realize that our faith is work, right? So when Adam and Eve sinned and they got kicked out of heaven, Adam got the curse of, by the sweat of your brows you will live. Which means you gotta work for a fucking living. You gotta work if you want to eat. If you're a man, like it's instinctual. It's already deeply ingrained into our DNA that we come out of the womb with a hammer and a fucking shovel. Like, okay, get to work, homie. You know, like, carve out your value. Not value, like, you're valuable as a human, but carve out a name for yourself and take what's yours. So everybody that's successful will tell you that life isn't all you can eat buffet. Go ahead and help yourself. The thing is, you have to be good at what you do. Pick anything you want to do, be good at it, and don't fucking complain. Like, the thing is, like, when you complain 2 days later, you're like, oh, I feel stupid. When you complain 3 years later, you're like, holy shit, I look stupid. And so with a little bit of experience, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna complain about my fate, I'm just gonna work my way through. And guys don't do gossip stuff like females, naturally, right? So if as a dude, gossip and toxicity and high school drama stuff is kind of natural to you, my guy, go pick up a hammer, go join the army, you know, get that shit out of your system. It's weakness. All right, happy Saturday, you guys. Have a good one. I'm gonna go have a good one. It's supposed to be hot.